Volume 333. Imagine trying to solve a small-town mystery only to find out you were its final piece. That's exactly what happened to Thatcher Davis in Mandela Catalogue's Volume 333, a lieutenant at the Mandela County Police Department caught in something way above his clearance. After setting up surveillance in Jude Murray's house, Thatcher returns with Ruth Weaver the following night to investigate. His body cam captures the two walking through dim hallways while Ave Maria plays from nowhere, and when they find a hanging body near a static blaring TV, Ruth asks if anyone's left to handle it. Thatcher just sighs and calls it in because everyone else has already run. Then the signal breaks, and when he turns back, Ruth is gone. A door creaks open, bare footsteps echo, and when Thatcher calls out, he hears his own voice call back. The alternate starts mimicking him, then Jude and Ruth flipping through their lines as if rehearsing, which made him so annoyed. And then Amazing Grace starts playing as a long, pale arm slides into view, and Thatcher jumps through a window, running for his life. But the creature follows, venti-sized golem with a broken smile, floating through the station and repeating corrupted voices with every step. Thatcher opens fire. The screen flickers as the call hangs up. Then an "uh-oh, bad decision Thatcher" shows up on screen as the thing just laughs and continues taunting him. The tape ended with eerie footage of the alternates smiling uncannily at the camera before the credits rolled, then showed a statue of Christ's crucifixion as Gabriel slowly appeared from its back, suggesting that he's the mastermind behind all this. Bond's true form. Bond's true form is one that's shrouded in mystery and has been a subject of many speculations. On the surface, he's a blue humanoid rabbit animatronic, dancing and smiling like he belongs in a birthday party fever dream. But what's inside that suit is something else entirely. In the Walton Files, we find out that Bond isn't just possessed, he is possession himself. A sadistic, ghostly manipulator who exists in both the real world and a blank, liminal afterlife called Wonderland. In Episode 4, Cyberfun Tech, we finally meet the real Bond, not the mechanical bunny, but the towering white figure with a twisted grin carved into his cheek, shifting size like the laws of physics don't apply. He lurks in Wonderland, a void for the dead, wearing pristine suits and talking as if he's in business. He whispers to Susan's fading spirit that she's suffocating in real life, then casually says, "Oh, where are my manners? Pleasure to meet you. My name is Bond and you're Susan." Then he offers her a gift, the Banny Mask, her new vessel. When she hesitates, he comforts her with dead eyes and justifies everything with the line no serial killer should ever say.
You can't make an omelet without breaking a few eggs.
He smiles, changes into his blood-soaked animatronic form and pulls her in. And just like that, Bond gets a new friend.
Hey guys, it's me, Bond from the Walton Files. I'm the singer.
Criminal. What appears to be a simple animatronic test quickly becomes one of the most disturbing moments in the Five Nights at Freddy's VHS series. In facial recognition testing, an employee runs Toy Bonnie through a check where he identifies human faces, lifting his eyelids if he sees someone, and opening his mouth with a tone if the person is a criminal. At first, everything goes smoothly. Bonnie reacts to each image correctly, alternating between innocents and confirmed criminals like a very creepy lie detector in a bow tie. Then comes the 8th photo. The employee hesitates, asking why it's even in the lineup. Bonnie freezes for a second, then stands up like he's ready to commit a felony of his own. The man panics, tries to hold the animatronic down, and after a near electrocution, he snaps. He screams at whoever approved the image and quits on the spot, calling the place a death trap, which honestly feels like the first rational decision anyone's made in the Five Nights at Freddy's universe. But the tape doesn't end there. A shadowy face lingers behind Bonnie, and then William Afton's face appears. The word criminal repeats 17 times as his face turns purple, stretches into a jagged smile, and locks into the screen. Because apparently even machines know evil when they see it. Harvester Anomaly. In Vita Canis, a special anomaly report, a quiet mapping of wildlife activity turns into something horrifying, and it starts with log number 014, tracking a sudden shift in harvester population between August and October 1989. It shows maps and heat signatures like it's prepping a weather forecast, then, without warning, cuts to home footage of a normal family, birds chirping, and two kids playing outside near the woods. One walks off deeper, while the other stares blankly ahead, and for a second it just feels wrong. The screen flickers to bulbous tendrils twitching in the brush. Harvester waits, buried in the earth, a fleshy plant creature that paralyzes prey with venom and thrashes them until they bleed out. You hear rustling, heartbeats, and then the screaming begins. A child's cries pierce through static as blood seeps across the footage, and maps resume like nothing happened. A third map shows harvesters' movement near Hudson Bay, but all you hear is that child still screaming. The video ends with a photo of the same family, now grotesquely altered, the mother and younger child visibly mutilated, implied to be victims of the attack, and despite it being killable with one shot, the government leaves it alone. Jack's call to Felix. Nothing's more heartbreaking and horrific than expecting your kids to get home safely, only for them to vanish without a trace. In the Walton Files, that nightmare becomes real when Felix Kranken fails to bring Ed and Molly home. After drinking heavily at a party, Felix drives them back and crashes the car, killing both children. He doesn't call for help. He doesn't confess. Instead, he buries their bodies in the woods and goes silent, leaving their father, Jack Walton, waiting for a call that never comes. The screen fades to black and the phone begins to ring. Felix's answering machine lights up, 25 new messages. One begins to play. It's Jack. His voice is unsteady at first, asking where Felix is, saying it's been 3 hours since he was supposed to bring the kids home. But then panic creeps in. Jack repeats that he's been calling all night, that something must have happened.
What happened to my children? If anything happened, Felix, you must tell me. You haven't told me in 3 hours. I need to know what's going on.
He yells, demands answers, and his voice breaks again and again until finally his distorted face fades in, twisted by grief. The message cuts off mid-sentence and the screen goes dark, but it doesn't feel like it ended. It just feels like something broke and never got fixed.
What happened to my children? If anything
Kennel Dog.
What? Miss Melgren, you need to get out of there and return to your house immediately. I'm sending your information to the police right now.
What's going on?
Get the hell out of the kennel,
Okay.
now!
Fuck.
That's not an overreaction, but a valid expression, because imagine a mini colossal titan, skinned and almost skeletal, enters your house to fuse you and your dogs. In the Greylock tapes, tape 012 begins as another guided nightmare for a woman named Charlotte Melgren, who's asked to wear the TF Systems Neurovisor headset and stare into a tape designed to activate her subconscious. But things start slipping. Images glitch into surveillance footage from her kennel, where movement alerts keep triggering without explanation, and a towering figure crawls across the roof like it's trying not to be seen. Every night it returns, every alert gets corrupted. By the time Charlotte walks over to check the building, the dogs have gone completely still, standing like statues, eyes empty, as if something inside them had already been switched off. Security cameras show the creature inside the kennel, yet she sees nothing. Then the door disappears, the windows vanish, her flashlight is ripped away, and she realizes she's sealed in with something. When she whispers that her skin feels like it's moving, it's already too late. Later footage from a responding officer shows the worst of it. Charlotte is found in the basement, barely recognizable, partially fused with 2 of her dogs, tissue melted, limbs merged, breathing, and somehow still alive. Real Sleep. Local 58 second season episode 2 features a broadcast called Real Sleep, and if you've ever wondered what sleep therapy would look like if designed by aliens who flunked empathy class, this one delivers. Aired at 3 p.m. and addressed to Philip Gerhardt, the tape opens with a logo from the Thought Research Initiative and calmly announces that dreams are a waste of time. According to them, real rest isn't about peace, it's about killing your subconscious like it owes you money. The video walks you through 4 sequences, starting with flashing inverted faces, distorted audio, and commands to stare into the void until your brain forgets it had feelings. By sequence 3, you're chanting, "There are no faces," while being bombarded with dismembered facial features. Sequence 4 escalates with phrases like, "Dreaming is a cancer," and "Sleep is a scavenger," while the voice reminds you not to see a doctor because therapy is for the weak and sleep is for cowards. In that last phase, the right audio channel whispers, "I dream the world awake," over and over, and some believe that's the real signal. Theories suggest this is part of a long-running alien plot to brainwash humans into committing acts of violence, either in their sleep or wide awake after seeing the right trigger. So if your alarm clock starts speaking in tongues, maybe don't snooze it, just burn it.
There are no faces.
Multiple Alcatraz. In the Monument Mythos Alcatraz attack episode, things go from ominous to apocalyptic in the time it takes a prison island to go full biology textbook. It starts simple enough. Alcatraz sits quietly under heavy fog while military reels talk about therapy like they're treating a patient, not a national landmark. But it isn't long before footage reveals something deeply wrong. The prison's layout starts to resemble cell organelles, and soon the entire island is undergoing mitosis. Yes, mitosis. Alcatraz becomes a cell and it begins to divide, also known Alcatrazosis. At first, the military responds with radiation therapy, which sounds clinical until the screen turns blood red and the island starts duplicating itself. You don't expect a prison to act like it's in a Marvel origin story, but here we are. The episode escalates fast as multiple Alcatrazes erupt from the ocean, triggering emergency sirens that scream louder with every new duplicate. What starts as one island quickly becomes many, and the final frames imply these copies will keep spreading until they reach West Texas by 2020. By the end, it feels less like a containment failure and more like a landmass infestation. The United States isn't losing territory, it's being replaced one Alcatraz at a time. If continental mitosis were a disease, this one's terminal. These were some of Analog Horror's most disturbing moments. Subscribe for more, and we'll see you in the next one.